Hello and welcome to another episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
I'm Chris Mann.
Today we're going to be talking about 1988's The Kiss.
Bobby, start the kiss.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I made the team. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
Spooky ain't got no real poach.
Hello, pizza man.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love fun and games. Get a little girl a little hot and horny.
You could have been decent once in a while. And maybe Daddy would have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore.
What a shame.
Come on, just step on the gas before we get creepy.
Welcome to the first in our two-part Halloween special for The Grindbin. Today we're digging up a movie that probably nobody's ever heard of, but maybe you should watch because it's a fun, weird Canadian horror film that don't think many people have seen.
It feels like a redheaded stepchild of a Sam Raimi film.
I could see that. Yeah, for sure. A little Drag Me to Hell in there.
Yeah, big time,
you know?
yeah. Big time.
So before we get into it, let's take a listen to the trailer.
Aunt Felice is coming to visit. She's like no other aunt you've ever met. Aren't you going to give your aunt a kiss?
What do you want?
A kiss! A kiss. They never should have let her in the house.
So pretty much we just saw the entire film in about a 1 minute and 26 seconds. They showed that film from start to finish in flash scenes.
They pretty much did. Every scene of action is detailed in order.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Interesting choice. So, The Kiss, 1988, produced in Canada, had a troubling post-production and had its release date constantly pushed back. At one time, had two completely different working titles. The Host and Kissed. Eventually, plans for a wide release were scrapped, and the movie was given a small regional release in the U.S. Probably that's why nobody's ever heard of it.
Right, that makes perfect sense.
This is not a direct-to-video movie.
No.
This came out in the theater, a few small markets here and there, but never a wide release. Although I think if it was given a wide release, it could have done okay.
I think we would have done great.
Film was shot in 7 weeks. Budget was $6 million according to IMDb, but then Wikipedia says $2.5 million. So big discrepancy between the two.
Maybe one was the post-production budget tacked on after the fact.
Yeah, maybe advertising and stuff.
Yeah.
Released October 1988. Gross in the U.S. $1.9 million. So didn't make a bunch of money in the theater. Well, it wasn't going to with the small release, but it did make its money on video.
Yeah, good.
It didn't get bad reviews. Los Angeles Times gave it a positive review, and Leonard Maltin also gave it a slightly positive review. So we're not talking about a terrible movie today, but we're certainly talking about an interesting movie.
Yeah. One great for this season. I would gladly take my 3-year-old son, if I had one, to see this at midnight on Halloween night, full of candy.
I went in deep into the bin and pulled out a horror movie that we were planning on doing at some point during the year and was like, let's start with this one.
You pretty much sold me on just by describing one scene. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we're doing this.
I described it wrong, though.
You did.
Because I'd seen it before, and I said the wrong animal.
Yeah.
So.
Because I saw there was a monkey at one point. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, I described it as demon monkey, but it's not a demon monkey. So.
No, and it was a lot more pleasant.
Yeah, it was a nice surprise.
It was a good surprise, yeah.
So let's get into the crew. Oh, and by the way, one of the people in the movie,
Yeah.
heavy hitter. You would never guess, though.
Oh, well.
The crew, Penn Densham, director and producer, only 5 directing credits. 1985, The Zoo Gang, he also wrote that one, is another credit of his. You're going to like this, Chris. I wrote down the description of it. Homeless kids need a place to stay, so they rent the club, The Zoo, out from old Leatherface. Later, a new gang attempts to take away their home. A fight ensues with thumbtacks and staplers as the weapons.
It sounds like Home Alone.
I just like is they rent someplace from someone called, quote, Old Leatherface.
Yeah.
And then they get in a fight with other homeless kids using, quote, thumbtacks and staplers.
It's like World War IV warfare.
You know, if it's anything like this movie, it's probably real fucked up, so.
Yeah, I'm in.
1996, Moll Flanders also wrote and produced, starring Robin Wright from House of Cards, Frank Underwood's wife, Kevin Spacey's wife in that show, and Morgan Freeman. And here's a description for you. It's about a girl placed in a nunnery after her mom is executed and she is abused by a priest and then eventually becomes a prostitute. So a real uplifting tale of...
Mike, one question.
What?
Is it A Way Out?
Is a reference to a episode I can't even name and a movie description I don't even remember. He had much more success, though, as a producer and a writer. Writing, now you may have heard of this one or not, 1990, A Gnome Named Norm. He wrote that movie and also produced it, starring Anthony Michael Hall and a gnome. 1996, he has a story credit, but he also produced it, Larger Than Life, starring Bill Murray and an elephant.
Yep. I thought Bill Murray was the voice of the elephant at first when I saw this marketed.
Well, okay, so definitely look at the poster for this, because it's like Bill Murray sitting on a suitcase and the elephant sitting on the other side of the suitcase or something. It's really, really bad. His biggest writing credit, though, you're not going to believe this, Chris. He also produced this movie. The man who directed this movie, 1991, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Kevin Costner?
Yeah, this man wrote and produced that movie. The director and writer of this movie.
So he couldn't direct Costner to get like a decent English accent?
He didn't direct Robin Hood.
Oh.
I think Costner directed that.
Oh, well, even worse.
Producing, though, here you go, some other ones. 1991, he produced Backdraft. 1994, Blown Away with Jeff Bridges and Tommy Lee Jones. 1995, he produced Tank Girl. He was the executive producer for Poltergeist: The Legacy, the TV series. Also, The Outer Limits. 2007, produced a movie called Just Buried. And 2013, Phantom, which stars Ed Harris and David Duchovny. He is currently producing The Last Measure, which stars Morgan Freeman.
Cool.
2 writers on this movie. 1, Tom Ropalewski. 9 credits. 1989, Loverboy, starring Patrick Dempsey. You ever seen that one?
Yes.
1990, Madhouse, starring Kirstie Alley and John Larroquette. When we wish we could all forget. 1993, he also wrote Look Who's Talking Now. The other writer is Stephen Volk, 12 credits. 1986, Gothic. 1990, The Guardian, directed by William Friedkin of Exorcist fame.
Right. Oh.
2011, The Awakening. Now, here you go. Here's another heavy hitter, actually. The cinematographer for this movie, which I thought cinematography was pretty good in this movie.
Yeah, lighting, everything.
Well, he's got 70 credits, a couple you may have heard of, including 1989. After this movie, Weekend at Bernie's. Filmed that. 1994, Brain Scan. 1995, he was a cinematographer on Johnny Mnemonic. And 1995, he also did National Lampoon's Senior Trip. Quite a divergence in projects in one year.
I remember Brain Scan and Johnny Mnemonic.
Here we get in the cast. So we haven't got to the heavy hitter yet. And I want you to maybe stop me when you think you know who it is. Meredith Salinger, who plays Amy, the main character in this movie, 65 credits. She started her career with a big Disney movie, 1985, The Journey of Natty Gann. She starred in that movie along with John Cusack. 1989, she was in Dream a Little Dream with the 2 Coreys after this movie. 1991, Edge of Honor with Corey Feldman. Never heard of this one, but listen to this. It's about some scouts who stumble upon a big weapons cache, and then they get in like a big fight with some gun runners or something.
Is that Bushwhacked?
No, it's called Edge of Honor.
Oh, I thought
Bushwhacked.
that was one of the Daniel Stern.
Oh, God. I used to love that movie.
So did I.
1995, she was in The Village of the Damned. 1999, she was in Lake Placid. And 2009, Race to Witch Mountain. Now, here's what's interesting. She plays the character Natty Gann.
Whoa.
So she reprised her role from that original movie in the Race to Witch Mountain movie.
Oh, okay.
So it's some weird Disney connection.
That's cool.
She's still working. Does a lot of TV, movies. Joanna Pacula, who plays Felice. 81 credits. Just got a few for you. 1983, Gorky Park, William Hurt and Lee Marvin were in that one. 1990, Marked for Death, Steven Seagal. 1993, she was in Tombstone. And the last credit I have is 1999. She was in the movie Virus, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, a real winner.
Oh, boy.
She's still working. Mimi Kuziak, who plays Brenda, the most useless character in this movie. 129 credits. One of her first movies. Did a lot of TV before and after. Only other movie credit I wrote down, she was in 2004's The Day After Tomorrow, but I don't remember her in that.
That was a Dennis Quaid joint.
Dennis Quaid joint, yeah.
Okay.
Jake Gyllenhaal, Dennis Quaid. Real classic about outrunning global warming. I'm not kidding. If
Nope,
you haven't
I know
seen
you're
that
not
movie.
kidding.
The freeze is coming, run! And somebody's like, didn't tell, what's his name, director of Independence Day.
Roland Emmerich?
Yeah, nobody told Roland Emmerich, they're like, that's not how it works. It's not just a sheet of ice that appears.
Yeah,
Shut
overnight.
up.
Yeah.
Nicholas Kilbertus, who plays Jack, or I just call Dad, in this movie.
This is the heavy hitter?
No, it is not.
Oh, because I'm running out of...
1981, he was in the movie Scanners, but he just played a security guard.
Oh.
1981, Happy Birthday to Me, a horror movie directed by the guy who made Kinjite.
Yeah.
He's still working steadily in TV. Now, you didn't guess it because I'm on the last cast member. Shawn Levy, who plays Terry in this movie. Just the guy that Amy likes at the mall.
Yeah.
Definitely the most decorated actor in the group, much less known for his acting than his producing and directing. I'm not even going to list his acting credits because directing and producing is, oh boy. This guy who was in this movie, 2002, started out with the movie Big Fat Liar, starring Frankie Muniz and Amanda Bynes, where they kidnapped Paul Giamatti. He directed that movie. 2003, directed Just Married with Ashton Kutcher and Brittany Murphy. 2003, Cheaper by the Dozen. 2005, Cheaper by the Dozen 2, which he also produced. 2006, Pink Panther. 2006 and 2009, both the first two Night at the Museum movies. He also produced them.
Oh, wow.
2010, Date Night, also produced that movie. 2011, Real Steel, also produced that movie. 2013, The Internship with Robert De Niro, also produced that. His latest credit, 2016, Stranger Things, directed 2 episodes, and he also executive produced the whole show.
No kidding. Well, he's redeemed himself then.
He has produced and directed a ton of movies. Huge heavy hitter. He got his start acting in this movie.
Yeah. No, those are humble roots. I'll give it to him. It's kind of funny. He had like a string of Steve Martin films with him too.
Yeah. I would have never have guessed that guy would have went on to be like a huge director.
Yeah. Like, oh no, my stud. That guy went on to be
that
like...
guy. So here we get into the movie. We start in the Congo, 1963. That's not where this movie will take place. No, we start with a cold open in this movie. We haven't had a cold open in many of these movies.
No, because Crown doesn't have like the concept of a cold open. Can't grasp.
So we see all these, I guess, either slaves or day workers or something.
Sherpas.
Carrying elephant tusks and all sorts of animal cages onto this train. And there's this one white family with this guy who's like bossing everybody around. He's like, put that monkey over here. No, put it over there. No, put it over here. And he's got his kids there and his wife. And is it his wife, I think?
I thought it was, yeah.
Oh, no. She says their aunt, so maybe it's his sister or something. Anyways, there's these 2 little girls and this old guy. One of them like goes away and she gives the other girl this necklace. That's some special necklace or something. But we follow the one girl who gets on the train. And so they're on this train, and this girl and her aunt are leaving the Congo, and while they're on that train, her aunt just shows her this weird, crazy statue that she has
Yeah.
with like this tongue sticking out of it.
It looks like one of those incense holders you buy at Spencer's Gifts, like in the 90s.
It does. And the funny thing is, like, so she shows this to the girl, and the girl like couldn't give a shit less. She's just sitting there. She's like, "Yeah, it's great. I'm tired."
Yeah.
Just like a fucking kid, you know.
Yeah.
So we go to later. The statue calls to the aunt in the night, and she all of a sudden the aunt like wakes up in the middle of the night while they're riding on this train, and then she has like some sort of demon hand, and then she strangles the little girl across the seat from her, and then tries to kiss her.
Yeah.
The kiss coming into play.
Yeah.
You know? And then the train stops. We don't know what happened, but this conductor walks into this room, and there's like blood on the walls, and he looks over, and we just see like this shriveled up demon of an aunt left over, and then we see like that little girl like smiling to herself, and she's like walking through the train station.
Yeah.
And I write, what has transpired? I don't fucking know.
No. It was real quick, kind of almost like a Tales from the Crypt opening. Just real quick vignette of let's leave you in the dark, and maybe hopefully this will pay off, and it usually does, but this we'll see.
Yeah. And you know, the one thing is, like, I got the characters mixed up. Oh, wait, no. Wait, so, this girl on the train is supposed to be Amy's mom, right?
Yeah. Well,
is it?
No, it's not. It's, because the other girl, Amy's mom, didn't get on the train. The girl that's...
Amy's mom was the girl who stayed by... Oh,
yeah.
She was the girl who stayed by because she had the
Felice.
necklace.
Yeah, this is Felice that's turned... This is the girl
Well,
is
they
Felice.
should have done a fucking better job, because...
I could tell.
Both of Felice and the mom both have, like, blonde hair, but this girl who gets off the train looks like Amy. She's like a... She has brown hair. She doesn't look anything like the mom or Felice at all. For all I know, it could have been just some random people.
Well, again, $6 million budget.
So we go to 25 years later, and we're now in a church, and these kids are getting confirmed, and our main character, Amy, gets confirmed, so she's, I guess, whatever the age, 14. We cut to the barbecue, family barbecue. Amy's dad's having a barbecue for her confirmation. Mm-hmm. The wife comes over, and he starts groping her. So, all right, so he's at the grill, and like the priest comes up, and you know, he's a cool priest. He's got his sunglasses on, and still got his little collar on and everything.
He's like, "Hey, don't drink the devil's brew."
And then his wife comes up, and he starts like going, "Hey, come here, give me the goods, give me the goods." She's like, "Not in front of the clergy," and he goes, "It's okay, I got a letter from the Pope." Then we go to Brenda, this family friend or somebody, I don't know. I got a lot of problems with the character Brenda, which I can't wait to get into in this movie.
Thank you.
What exactly she does, who she is, why the fuck she's always around.
Yeah.
Why she doesn't have a life of her own.
She's like a surrogate mother that... Well, she wants to adopt that role, but it just doesn't work.
Do you think, like, okay, so in this part, the only time we see Brenda, who we don't know who she is at this point, she walks out like holding a giant speaker.
Yeah.
Like what we used to have in our houses as kids, you know, our parents would have these speakers with good 4-foot tall speaker. Mm-hmm. So she's carrying this out to the backyard, and the dad looks at her and he's like, "Oh God," and he starts spraying her with the water bottle.
She's like, I'm gonna let you kid it. Put it down. Stop it.
Yeah, but after she says that, he gives her a few more squirts. You know, he's like, "Yeah, you might. Get the fuck out of here, Brenda." Who invited you?
Yeah. Who cast you?
Why are you even in this movie? I can't wait. Then we go over to the pool and we see Amy and her friend. I think her friend's Heather. And they're like talking about a CD player or some shit. And then Heather asks her why her mom is all into this religious bullshit, and then just says something about how her mom just goes to aerobics class and she thinks she's getting fucked there.
How come your mom's so into this religious stuff? I don't know. Makes her feel good, I guess. Oh, come on. Don't you think your mom's a little out there? She's just in the church. Like your mom's into her aerobics class. I think my mom gets laid at her aerobics class. Heather.
But then Amy's mom walks up and she gives her that necklace that we saw from earlier in the movie as a present. So I guess you're right. She was the girl who got left behind. And I write, what a happy family. I bet nothing will ever go wrong. They're just setting up this perfect little world, you know. Everybody's happy, smiling. The steaks are on the barbecue, you know. Mom and dad love each other, you know. That the spark is still in the bedroom. The spark's still in the marriage.
Dad's still copping a feel.
Yeah, you know. She doesn't go to aerobics class to get fucked, you know. She can just get that at home.
Unless it's a Zumba class.
Oh! So then the phone rings. And Amy answers it. And she goes over and she gets her mom and she says, oh, it's my aunt. It's your sister, Felice. She's on the phone. And the mom looks a little bit worried. And Amy walks over and asks her dad. And he says, like, oh, I never met her, but she's some jet setter or model and something, you know. She's your mom's business. Who knows? So then Felice tells the mom over the phone that she has to see her. And it's, quote, it's time. The mom... so like then the mom like kind of gets off the phone and she like stares off and we hear this ominous music start playing. And then she walks over to the dad and she asks, oh, where are all the Cokes? And he's like, oh, they drank 3 cases already or something. She goes, oh, well, I'll go out and buy some more. You know, nothing's ever going to go wrong in our lives. Let me go to the store. Ominous music starts playing. And then we see Terry, the heavy hitter. He walks in to deliver this cake, right? This big cross cake with Amy's name on it. And he's like all upset because he lost his ear stud, his stud in his ear, right?
Do you think the writers thought they were just genius throwing in this plant and payoff?
Yeah, well, I got a lot of problems with this fucking stud, by the way.
Thank you.
One of the problems I have is Amy opens up the cake and finds that his stud is sitting on top of the cake. And I'm like, whoa. How the fuck that get there?
You think he put it there on purpose?
I don't know, but what's even more disgusting is that she picks it up in the icing. So she like digs her hand into the cake and then like
licks her
fingers and stuff and licks the stud. And I'm like, no. It's been in that man's ear all day. Jesus.
Catholic schoolgirls.
But you know, she likes Terry. She's a little interested in him. So they have a little bit of moment. He gets his stud back and she licks it and then he goes off, you know. He wasn't invited to this party. He's the help, you know. You can't associate with the help.
I like his the attire his work outfits him with for parties. Oh, it's a big pink blazer. Like
he looks ridiculous. This
like
movie,
the Pink Panther.
Did he go on to direct the Pink Panther, Chris? Here you go.
Hey.
The origins.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? This movie, the wardrobe in this movie is really, really crazy. Mm-hmm. There's a part that I actually took a picture and said to my wife and said, like, oh, I'm going to buy you this sweater because there's something Amy wears in this movie that's like insane.
Yeah.
Like a 5-year-old girl might not even wear that on a trip to Washington, D.C. Like it's that fucking weird. So we go to the mom. Oh, this part's so good. So we cut from this happy party to the mom in like downtown, wherever they are.
Yeah.
Just looking in this shop window. And we see the reverse. And she's looking at like a gun store. And it just says guns, ammo on the window. And she's just thinking, she's like, might have to get one of those. And then all of a sudden, Chris.
We hear like there's like a ball bounces in the street, right? There's like some distraction and...
Yeah, some kid bounces a ball into the street.
And basically all you got to know is the car swerves.
Yeah, this guy's
tires
like,
scraped.
Uh-oh. The old ball. The old kid in the ball gag, you know?
Whose life would have been more valuable at that point, right? The young family or the small kid with the ball?
Wouldn't it have been great if he hit both the kid and what's going to happen next? What if he swerved out of the way of the ball and just hit the kid? You know?
Shit. Double whammy. He got himself a twofer.
So he swerves out of the way of this ball and then runs directly into the mom.
And like no effort to get out of the way. Like it's called brakes, okay?
He doesn't hit the brakes at all. He goes full speed. Like I'm talking 45, 60 miles an hour down this main street.
Like Keanu
track.
Reeves is driving this thing.
And like it hits her and she goes jettison. Like she's jettisoned through this shop window. Like, this is where that $6 million went.
This
The
was
budget
done.
on this scene.
Yeah. This is a spectacular scene, though.
Oh, you see this woman fly through this shop window, and she just gets, like, knocked back onto the ground, and this truck is, like, sitting on top of her, and she just keeps looking at the wheel spinning, you know?
Yeah.
And she's, like, trying to claw her way out. She's like, oh, my God.
And then like, some electrical wire from the bottom of the truck swings down, and...
It's getting real Final Destination.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're
big
like,
time.
I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Death has come. But then, great part, though, you don't really expect this to happen. Is so she's like trying to get out, and she's like kind of gets her face out from under the truck, and then these people come up and help her.
Well, did you remember the thing that comes down from above?
Oh yeah, like a big spear like comes at her.
Yeah, like one of those like hot pokers from like a fireplace. She's coming out, and it comes like right next to her face. I'm like, here we go. Oh man, like again, Final Destination.
Very. And then I like that part though when the people come up to grab her, and you just see her get pulled out from under the car, but her legs left.
Yeah, because
because
I was like, oh, she'll be okay. Ha 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 ha.
severed leg.
Yeah.
So we cut to the hospital, and we don't really see anything. We just see the dad kind of getting bad news, I guess, from the nurse.
Yeah.
And he starts tearing up. And I'm like, well, I don't know what happened, but either his wife is dead or he simply can't stand the thought of a wife without a leg. So, never mind. Nope, she's dead. Cut to the funeral.
Yeah. They just wiped her off the face of the planet, like, in no time.
Wouldn't it have been great if he kept the leg?
That's actually that's like a Christmas Story kind of gag they could have done. Like put a lampshade on top of it.
Maybe when like he's unpacking all her stuff, when he's packing up all her stuff, she's like, "Did you didn't move that leg, did you?" So
He sleeps with it actually.
Sometimes he likes to put it on and wear it around, you know. So we go to this funeral, and everybody's mourning. They're all dressed in black like a funeral. Just a typical funeral scene, you know, except it's really windy for some reason.
Yeah.
And then this strange woman appears in the distance, and she kind of peers around a tree, and Amy sees her, and then she kind of just ducks back behind that tree. We go to 5 months later. Amy is swimming in her pool, and her dad is day drinking at 11 a.m. We find this out because she gets out of the pool and she like comes over to her dad, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take a sip." He's like, "Oh," she's like, "Oh my God, what's in there?" He's like, "Just a little vodka." She's like, "Well, you're not gonna become a drunk now, are you? It's only 11." He's like, "No. I just hate doing these books." And it's like,
I think there's a little bit more to it here. Might not have to do with your wife dying. I don't know. Maybe it's about your wife dying and then you need some therapy.
So this sets up something, though, that they kind of do and don't revisit, is that, so the dad, like, pushes her into the pool,
yeah,
and then she starts swimming, and he's, like, kind of smiling and looking, and then his face kind of turns. Like, he's almost, like, ashamed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is he got it for his daughter at this point in time? Because they're kind of setting that up. Because when she gets on the outside the pool, you know, and he's talking to her, they're all, like, kind of kidding around and touching each other a little bit, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Got the old daddy hot for
data.
Hot for daddy syndrome in this movie. This is getting a little weird. But then Brenda, which I write, okay, so we cut from that to Brenda, who's I wrote is either the slave, a maid, or some family friend or other, is cleaning some kitchen, we don't know where, and watching some black and white Congo dance on the TV. It's some like old movie. And then Amy, okay. So she's just cleaning. I guess she's cleaning their house, actually.
Yeah. She's now the help.
So Brenda, the slave, is over, and she's just like cleaning the pantry for some reason.
Yeah.
And Amy just walks in holding like a giant hedge trimmer, and she goes, "Does this work?"
For no reason
like,
other than...
What the fuck do you think?
Yeah. For another plant and pay, it's like... It's so shoehorned. It's not even funny. It doesn't make any sense.
You know what's so great, though, is we're going to see this hedge trimmer a couple more times in this movie, and the next time is one of my favorite parts in any movie, is when we're going to see this thing. So Brenda says something about... Now, this doesn't make sense, because this is Amy's house, right?
Yeah.
Because then Brenda says something like, "Oh, I don't know, but when I left, my ex only left things around the house I could kill myself with." And I wrote, huh. Sounds like nobody wants you around, Brenda.
Yeah, there's like a guillotine set up right off the bed.
Have some monster breakup, and he moves out of the house, and she comes home, and it's just hedge trimmer, knives, loaded guns,
Iron Maiden.
and a note that just says, "You know what to do. Call me if you need me," or something.
Like just set up basically the house from Saw 2.
So then, for some reason, they sit there and they watch this movie that she's watching, and they talk about it. And it's just some lady dressed up like a gorilla. And Amy goes, "Well, why is she dressed up like a gorilla?" And Brenda says, "Because she has, quote, style." And I just wrote, huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, then Amy talks to Brenda about that boy Terry, the cake boy, and how she kind of likes him. But while she describes this, she's holding that Diet Coke can, label out as close to the camera as she can. Get that in there. Coke's paying a lot of good money for this movie. You want to know where half of that $6.8 million came from? Yeah, maybe the budget really was only $2.8 million, but Coke paid another $2.8 something. Because, boy, there's a good Coke line in this movie later. Okay, so wait, hold on. In the beginning of this movie, they're at that barbecue, and the mom goes, "Where are all the Cokes? We're out of Cokes?"
Yeah.
And the dad goes, "Oh, they drank 3 cases already?
Oh, go to the store.
Coke! You know how those kids love Coca-Cola products. You better run to the store and buy them some more Coke.
They're selling out fast.
You know, we got a case of Pepsi. Fuck that shit. Get them the Coke."
It really was.
They should have just looked at each other when they said Pepsi. Like, they look at each other and go, "Pepsi," and just look right at the camera.
Down the barrel of the lens. Just like that.
We're a Coke family, all right? Get that Pepsi shit out of here. I never realized it until now how much Coke makes an appearance in this movie. Like, goddamn, they needed that fucking Kiss money, you know what I mean? They needed to get in this movie.
What a sham.
You want to make a movie about voodoo and African tribes people and dads wanting to fuck their daughters? Call up Coke. They'll give you some money.
I mean, they're giving it away.
Coke reading the script and go, yep, right in line with our target audience. Fucking perfect. Thank you. You can have all the Coke you want.
Orally, anally, you got it.
I didn't watch the end of the credits, but what if it just says "brought to you by Coca-Cola"? TriStar Pictures and Coca-Cola presents The Kiss.
Coke flavored lipstick. Tie-in products.
They're missing an opportunity. Do you think Coke was real heartbroken when this didn't get released?
Oh, without a doubt.
We put all that fucking money into that movie.
Yeah.
Then what about that fucking crazy aunt? That guy wants to fuck his daughter? What the hell?
I took my kid to see that.
Somebody got fired. Somebody got their pink slip when that came out. Joe, can you come in here? Oh, God. Joe, we put $2 million into that Kiss movie, and here it's not even opening wide. So we have that many millions of less people who are going to see our Diet Coke and hear the Diet Coke line and how kids love to drink cases of Coke. Joe, I think the Pepsi people might have a space for you.
Yeah.
No, he's working over at RC at that point.
Oh, God.
So anyways, they talk about Terry, the boy she likes, while she's holding that Diet Coke can. And she says something to Brenda about how she's the only virgin left in town, which seems to be a real running theme in a lot of our movies.
She's the new genie.
And then Brenda says, like, "Oh, well, we'll talk all about it. I'll make you a, quote, tomato sandwich," which I was like, no thank you.
Ew.
So then Brenda regales some story to Amy about how she, I guess, almost lost her virginity to some man in a hotel room.
Yeah.
And how he had a glow-in-the-dark condom, and she apparently laughed and put him into a psych ward somewhere.
Yeah, now the guy needs therapy. It's a glow-in-the-dark pickle.
Knowing you, Brenda, not sure it was the laugh. This lady, man.
I bet you $20 that guy didn't even exist.
Amy's like, what was his name? Oh, I don't remember. Eat your tomato sandwich.
Fucking sandwich.
So we go to the cemetery again, and Amy and her father are going to go do their, like 6-month anniversary, go see the grave,
Yeah.
But then this mysterious woman's there. Maybe she's been there the whole 6 months. I don't know, because we haven't seen her since. She's there, and we find out this is Felice, the mom's sister. Mm-hmm. So we go to Amy's house at night. She's swimming in the pool, because pretty much all Amy ever does is either go to the mall or swim in the pool or yell at her dad about something. But this is her swimming in the pool where she's the happiest. So she's swimming in that pool while her dad and Felice watch. I wrote, the dad looks a little too into it. So Felice is like, oh boy, your daughter's a real good swimmer. And he's just like, yeah, she is. Like sitting up like real peering into the water. And he's like, yeah, she's great. She's great. Boy, you like that suit I bought her?
She looks better without it on, man.
Oh. I got the white one on purpose. It's a little see-through, you know what I mean?
They were at a saran wrap.
And then Felice doesn't make it any worse or any better.
No,
Felice doesn't make it any better because
she gets all up in her grill, if you will. Like, look at you could be a model, and like starts stroking her face, and
yeah. So like Amy gets out of the pool and she wraps some cheetah print around her, and yeah, she's like, look at you could be a model, and she shows her off to the dad. She goes, isn't she beautiful? And the dad's like, yes, and she goes, no, isn't she beautiful? And he's like, yeah, no, she's great. And they're just both admiring Amy's looks, and boy, not uncomfortable at all.
No.
Amy asks Felice what happened between her and her mom, and then Felice, well, the dad's like, Amy, come on now.
Yeah.
It's not polite conversation. But Felice says something about how she was her father's favorite, but then her mom moved to America or some shit.
Yeah.
And this story basically ends with Felice getting 2 divorces already.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Never reference any of that again.
Nope.
Go to the kitchen. Felice is now making food for Amy and her dad. Now we're in the day, right? So it's like the next day. And for some reason, Felice is making everybody eat all these vitamins and shit.
Yeah, she's like blending away. She's like the new juice man. She's got different liquids, different fluids flowing all over the kitchen. God knows what it's in them.
Yeah, she's just going to come in and play mommy, I guess. She's like, oh, you can't eat that. You got to eat celery and you got to take your vitamins and shit. And it's like, oh, I'll do whatever this strange lady says. Okay. Mm-hmm. But then Brenda, nobody had fucking invited her over, walks through the door with a bag of groceries. Like I said, she's either the slave, a maid, something. Who knows? Aren't you a fucking doctor, Brenda? Shouldn't you be at the fucking hospital every now and then?
Yeah, it's my day off.
So Brenda walks into the door through the kitchen. She's like, hey, I brought groceries. And then she hits Felice as she's cutting some celery.
Yeah.
And Felice just like slices open her fingers and then turns towards Brenda and I guess squirts blood all over her shirt. And she's like, oh. And then, everybody runs over and the dad's like, oh, God. And they help Felice with her wound. And then all of a sudden, Amy's friend Heather comes through the door. And then she says something about how she recognizes Felice from Cosmo. And we learn that. And she says like, oh, are you staying with the family or something? And she's like, oh, I don't know. And the dad's like, of course she is. Of course she is. And now we learn Felice is now their house guest. Nothing like having the long lost sister of your dead wife just hanging around the house.
What's her credentials? How do they know this? How do they know that she's the sister? It's just, yeah, we met you at the cemetery. You're standing in front of the grave, and she could just concocted some story. Like,
it's been another drifter situation, which we've run into a number of times.
Yeah,
you're right. They have no idea who this lady is. Yeah. So Amy and her friend are basically saying that they're going to the mall, and the dad, he's got to lay on some real cheese line where he goes,
oh, wait a minute, where are you going?
Just to the mall, Dad.
You hang around there anymore, and I'll have to have your mail forwarded.
You didn't like that one?
Nope.
Well, Amy's friend responds with,
come on, Mr. Halloran. It's not like returning tricks. Heather.
And then basically they leave, and Amy and her friend talk in the driveway, and Amy's like, why the fuck did you why did you invite my aunt to stay with us? She's like, I don't even know that lady, and she's weird. And she's like, she seems fine to me. She's like, you don't even know her.
Thank you.
You just fucking got here. You're ruining my goddamn life, Heather. Also, you told my dad we're turning tricks at the mall. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And she's like, there's nothing wrong, huh? You know. She seems fine.
Yeah, girls just want to have fun.
Come on, let's go to the mall. Nobody's ever been hurt there. So we go. All right, but before we get to the mall, the aunt, like, so Felice says something about how, like, Brenda or Heather
left
her
her
friend,
sunglasses, right?
left her sunglasses inside, so she's gonna run out and give it to her. But then she overhears how Amy says, like, oh, I think she's weird and I don't like her and I don't want her staying here. And then Felice just kind of stands there and they leave. And then Brenda, who just always has got to come and ruin everybody's fucking party, comes out to say bye to Felice because I guess she was just dropping off groceries or something. And then that's it.
Yeah. Just got to set up that she knows she's on the radar.
It's like, can we just have one scene without Brenda forcing her fucking way into it? Like, do you think at one point, like, they're directing and then she just walks onto the scene and they're like, whoa, Brenda, you're not in this scene.
I need to flesh out my character, okay?
I was thinking I'd get a few more lines, huh? Maybe she just showed up on the set. Somebody's like, I can't find this Brenda character anywhere in the script. Does anybody know where she came from, who she is? So we go to the mall. Amy and her friend are just shopping. This is what. Okay, so Amy is wearing this sweater, like I said, that like a 5-year-old girl would wear on like a field trip to the White House.
Yeah.
It's got like a giant bald eagle stitched onto it, like the whole length of it, like from the shoulder down to the stomach is a giant bald eagle. She looks like some crazy cat lady just walking around with a sweater. And so they go over to Terry, and he's working at the cake shop, cake kiosk in the mall. Which, did you notice it was called something like Crazy Cakes or something with a K? KK Cakes.
Custom crazy cakes.
Oh, where do you work, Terry? Over at KKK? Excuse me? Oh, no, the cake store, you know? Custom Crazy Cake. So they walk up to the thing, and he shows them some cake he's making with, like, a kid's eyeball popping out.
Yeah.
And he says something about, like, fucking kid wants bones coming out of his mouth. You know, like he's eating his parents. And they're just like, no, we don't know, Terry. That sounds fucking weird. We're just going to leave, and this scene just ends. Not really anything happens.
Yeah, it's just the boss like, hey, go back to work over there. Oh, I gotta go, bye.
And then they just walk away.
Yeah.
Fucking useless.
Yeah.
I guess we just have to establish that Terry's here because we'll get to him in a little bit.
Yep.
Go back to the house, and the dad walks in on Felice exercising in the guest room. And she's like, oh, gosh, I'm so sorry. And he's like, oh, no, it's okay. I just needed to get some things from this box. And he's like, starts digging through things. And he like picks up some clothing of his wife's. And he's like, oh, I can still smell her perfume. And Felice is like, oh, well, if you want me to help you throw anything out, you know, I'm here.
Light it on fire. I got a lighter here.
Might as well start. But then she says something about how she wants him to meet somebody for his business or something. This subplot that's going to kind of come into play that we never understand really what the fuck any of this has to do with anything. Go back to the mall, and we cut immediately to ominous shots of an escalator. The conveyor of death.
Yep. Finally.
Amy's friend, so like they're all getting on the they're all gonna get on this escalator, Chris.
So as if you don't see it coming a mile away, so they're on this escalator, it's going up, and then of course Heather drops this, she can't find her stud or in her ear or whatever. It's always a stud, right? Or is it
no, it's a lipstick. So she's like, oh, I
okay.
dropped my lipstick at the bottom of the escalator.
Yeah, and it's like, why does she notice it now out of all times? Who knows? And so it's down there, it's dangling around. It's like, oh, okay, I'll go down there. So she goes down there, the escalator's going up. Her friend's still on the way up. She leans down to go get it, and a part of her necklace gets stuck in the escalator, in the bottom of it. Yeah, didn't see that one coming. So now it's just like, and it's kind of pulling her down. I'm like, oh, please let this be decapitation.
It's got her like strangled into the escalator.
It is like imprinted onto her face, this necklace. It's like
somehow it's been wrapped around her head like 4 times now.
Yeah, which I didn't see why, but I was hoping it would end in like an explosion of gore and brain matter all over the place, like a tomato. At the end of it, I was hoping that, and then
what happens is like, so she gets strangled by that, and then Amy's like, oh my god, like I gotta help my friend, and she calls for Terry, and he like runs over and he starts kicking the emergency button, and it's not going off.
Yeah.
And we just see her going slower up to the end, and it's like, and then we just see like hair and blood into the escalator.
Because that's what I thought happened. I'm like, oh, fine, she bit it, but I was hoping they would show it.
Because it also showed Amy like going like, ah, and she's like covered in blood and everything. And then you just see the necklace right up onto the escalator all covered in blood.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, this girl's dead. Because well, I guess maybe the necklace would probably break, but you just assume she's dead. Mm-hmm. Great scene, by the way. Crazy. I don't think I've ever seen this in a movie where somebody gets like almost eaten alive by an escalator. I like that one. And we go back to the house, and Dad and Felice are cleaning out this dead woman's clothes. You know, she's gone. Time to get rid of her, right?
5 months, that's
her
enough.
sister's in here, you know. We never really met her before. She's offering to throw this shit out, you know.
She's more... Who else is more qualified? Come on.
It's been 5 months. Fuck her, Chris, you know. Time to move on. Daddy needs a new toy, you know.
Daddy's got a brand new bag.
So the dad and Felice are cleaning out this dead broad's clothes, and Brenda and Amy just walk into the room. Brenda, of course Brenda's there. So they walk into the room, and they're all looking like crazy at the doorway.
Yeah.
And the dad and Felice are like having a gay old time throwing away this lady's clothes. They're like smiling. They're like, I always hated this shirt. Oh, I bet you look terrible in this. What a dumb lady. And then they look over, and they're like, oh, what's wrong? And Brenda's all like, her friend Heather was, in an accident at the mall, and she's cut up, but she's gonna be okay. And I wrote, how?
Yeah, I think it should have strangled her to death, snapped a vertebrae.
Amy asks, but Amy like flips out, and she's like, well, what are you doing? And they're like, oh, we're getting rid of that dead lady's clothes. You remember that lady who used to live here? She's dead now. Yeah, fuck her. But the dad's like, no, Amy, it's okay. We've decided, we talked it over, we're gonna donate it to charity. And Amy like runs off. Okay, remember how I said those hedge trimmers are gonna come back into play?
Yes.
Well, Amy runs off, and Felice is like, oh, well, I'll go talk to her. And we hold on Brenda. And she stands at the doorway, and she says something to the dad. She's like, you could have talked to her first before you started throwing this stuff away. And I wrote, nobody asked for your opinion, Brenda. And who the fuck are you anyways?
Yeah. Go for a swim, all right? Go to the fucking mall.
Just leave this family alone, please. Nobody even knows who you are. Are you the mom's friend?
Yeah.
His friend? For some reason, their daughter's friend? Like, what? Who are you?
Yeah, no relationship was established.
But they never say anything other than like, oh yeah, that's Brenda.
Yeah.
They don't even say if she's a friend. Like I said, the slave. Who knows? Who knows? So we go to outside, and Amy's crying, cutting a topiary with the hedge trimmer. So this is how she like blows off steam. Amy's just like bawling her eyes out, like cutting down a hedge to make a dinosaur in it or something. And Felice comes out, and she's just consoles her a little bit. Then we cut to a lab. And now Felice and the dad are meeting with some guy at this medical lab. It's all bullshit. You don't really need to know anything.
No.
Apparently the dad's going to get some job with this guy. Mm-hmm. But they're in this lab that's doing like a bunch of tests on animals. And like the animals, there's like a bunch of monkeys and everything, but the lab is like so dimly lit. It looks like a fucking nightclub in here, which is, if you've ever been in a lab, it's super overlit.
Right. And it's like white floors, white walls. It's very sanitary.
So this is like a dark room, and all the lighting looks like, I don't know, like a heat lamp at a buffet. Like for some reason, everything's in red, like red lights everywhere.
They're basically in a Boston market.
This looks like a scene from Johnny Mnemonic. Like, like this is not a lab at all.
No.
Boston. They somehow walked into the rotisserie oven. This is what it looks like. So Felice like goes over to these monkeys, and they start going wild, and they try to attack her and bang on their cages. I was hoping they'd start throwing feces. That would have been a good touch.
Yeah.
So we cut back to the pool. This part is great. This part, I don't know if you noticed this part, but one of my favorite shots in the whole movie. So Amy's laying on the diving board, just kind of like putting her hand in the water, dreaming about swimming because that's where she's happy. And then she looks up at her aunt's window and she's like, oh, I'm going to go there. And she gets off the diving board, but we don't cut. We hang on the pool and you just see like ominous music starts again, right? Mm-hmm. And then you see the pool cleaner come into view and it just stays on it for a good 30 seconds of just this pool cleaner cleaning the pool. And you're like, well, I guess like the hedge trimmer, that's going to play somewhere later in this movie. We'll find out.
Yeah, because it looked like an octopus almost with the tentacles of the hose are like, oh, I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
So this pool cleaner comes into the shot and it's like, da da da.
It was a pool cleaner all along.
So we go into Felice's room. Amy sneaks in and she's looking in her suitcase and she finds her friend's glasses and like all this weird African voodoo shit.
Yeah.
And then she hears her dad and Felice coming home and she like tries to pack it up real quick and she like runs out of the room, but Felice comes to the door and she's like, oh, what are you doing in here?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, nothing. And she tries to leave and then Felice is like, oh, if you ever want to find out about any of these artifacts I collect, you just need to ask, you know? And so basically Amy leaves. She's trying to leave. Amy tries to leave. Then Felice like pats her on the face and she's like, oh, I want to be real good friends, Amy. Real good friends. Then we go to downstairs and Amy comes up to her dad and he's all happy because he's like, oh, I think Felice is going to get me a new job and everything. Isn't she great? And Amy's like, I want her out of the house. He's like, why? She seems fine to me. And she's like, I don't like her. She's scary. She creeps me out.
Yeah, no shit.
We just found this lady at a fucking cemetery. And the last time I saw her was 5 months ago at the same cemetery. I don't know where she was staying, Dad. What is she doing here? Does she live here? Who knows? Was she staying at that cemetery for 5 months? I don't know.
She's in the crypt like in hibernation.
Oh, finally they're coming to visit the grave. It's been long enough, don't you think? So we cut to, okay, so the dad's like, no, she can stay here, you know, she's not crazy, and like Amy runs away. And then it cuts to later and it's like raining. Mm-hmm. And then Felice, I guess this all happened off screen, as she's like looking out the window and the dad's like, oh, it's okay, you can find a place tomorrow or something. So I guess he is going to tell her she has to stay somewhere else.
Yeah.
But what doesn't make any sense is he's like, oh, you know, this damn rain. We'll have to find you a hotel tomorrow. It's like,
Getting
what the fuck
umbrella.
are you talking about? Yeah, get a fucking umbrella. No. You have a car. It's not like you need to walk there. Oh, this damn rain. Better cancel all my travel plans. Better stay home from work. You know?
No mail today.
It's like, okay. So we go to, great scene. Later that night, the dad wakes up in his bed. And he's hearing something down in the kitchen. And what's he grab, Chris? Well, an umbrella. Yep. So I guess they did have one in the house. So the dad walks downstairs and he grabs that umbrella and he walks into the kitchen, but there's nothing there. And he sees, it was just this back door rattling.
Yeah.
So he shuts the door and then he goes over that pantry. And what happens, Chris?
I love this. So he opens this pantry very slowly and we get the best like jump scare sight gag of this rabid tomcat that is basically just, you know, a low budget puppet that looks like a live action Thundercat but black, and a combination of I'd say it's like a rabid Salem the cat from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah, it's like a black cat with these giant fang teeth.
Yeah, and it's like spitting and yowling and drooling everywhere, and it's like and
you're right that it's such a bad puppet. It's clearly
I
a
love
puppet
it.
on somebody's hand that goes
love it. I adore that. And it scratches the shit out of his chest, and he's like, "Oh!" And the cat goes flying. I quote, flying through the window.
Yeah, like how the lady got jettisoned through that window before. This cat jettisons itself through a window. So like you just see this cat just go, yes!
I wish you could have seen an angle. There's like a jetpack on its back.
Like this thing, nobody could have even thrown it that hard. It was like comes out of it's like shot out of a cannon through this window. You just see whoosh. Cut to the morning. Felice is helping the dad clean his wounds, and then Amy comes in and asks what happened. And I got a real problem with this part. Is the dad just goes, he's like, oh, some stray tomcat was in the house, no big deal. And I wrote, what?
Look at your fucking arms, buddy.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Look at your chest.
Okay, first of all, this thing had like teeth I mean, these teeth are like 2 feet long coming out of this thing. It's got blood all over its mouth. It's clearly rabid. It's drooling all over the fucking place.
And there's blood all over the damn place.
It's got like bloodshot eyes. It scratched the shit out of your chest. And then it jettisoned itself through a window, and he's like, just some fucking cat. No. And I wrote, again, also, maybe it's time to go see a fucking doctor, dude. Oh, no problem. I just got scratched by some feral, obviously rabid cat.
Yeah.
No big deal.
That's like the one time. I have a quick story. You may or may not keep this, but when my parents were living in a condo together, my mom had gone out and found a stray feral cat and brought it in.
This isn't Cat Kaida, is it?
No.
Oh, you know what? We're told that story next. We're definitely told that story.
So my mom found this stray feral cat and brings it into the condo, and she's like, "Oh, look how cute! Let's adopt it." And my dad's like, "I don't know." And it's just like gets in the house, and starts clawing up all the curtains. My dad is just like destroyed the place. Mom's like, "It's okay."
Wait. As soon as your mom brought it in, she's like, "Oh, look at this cat I found."
Yeah.
And then it just starts clawing everything.
Yeah. The curtains, the walls, my dad. It's like going fucking ape shit.
What did you do? Open the door and just get it out eventually?
I wasn't even born yet.
What did your dad do?
Oh god, he was like, when I remember him telling me, it's like scratch the shit and just like this thing's got to get out of here. I probably threw it out or something like that.
Okay, you need to regale our audience with a story that's actually kind of similar to this movie. Is one day apparently at your house?
Yeah.
Right, when you were like in high school when this happened or something, right? This is a long time ago.
There's been so many cats at our houses my mom has found.
This one's infamous though. This is what we used to refer to as Cat Kaida.
Oh, Meow Kaida.
Meow Kaida.
Yeah, this is almost like 4 years ago. Not even.
Oh, okay.
This is very, very recent. So, I'm upstairs getting ready for work, and I hear my mom go, "Hey, someone get Ash. There's a cat here. It looks lost." And because the wind was a very windy day that day, so my mom's logic was, well, the cat got lost in the wind. You know, I guess its sails or something like that lost course, and it couldn't read the compass right, and it ended up at our house for some reason. Who knows? So there's this big orange cute tabby cat, and it's like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. It's all meowing. Well, it wasn't meowing yet, so my mom brings it in the house and gives it some food, and it's kind of wandering around, and it stops and it's eating and it's going,
this thing, I'm not kidding, because Chris got it on video.
Yeah, well, we're going to play the audio.
You have the audio for it?
I took video of it.
Oh, this thing sounded like a Muslim prayer. Like, I'm not kidding. I don't mean like, it sounded like a call to prayer, this thing. Yeah. It's just like, wow, 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 wow. Like, it's crazy, the sound of this cat.
So we nicknamed it Ollie because it sounded like it was saying Ollie, but it's probably saying Allah for all we know. And Ash wasn't very fond of it. My cat Ash.
Nobody was fond of this cat because it never shut the fuck up.
So my dad and I, when it's wandering out back, we're like, this thing's never going to leave because we just fed it, and now it knows there's food and comfort here and a friend. And Ash is like, fuck no, he's not my friend. And so my dad and I go to collect it in the back, and the second we surround it, it's like,
I think you're like, it's gonna bomb.
yeah, exactly. Terror level orange, red. And so my dad's like, no, we're done here. We're done. And just we stuff it in the carrier and take it down to the animal shelter. And we found out this cat was actually.
You guys walked in. You're like, this is a kill shelter, right? No. This thing came straight from Pet Cemetery. We gotta rush this one in.
Get the needle ready.
Yeah, your dad just runs in and goes, get the needle, get the needle. Fire up the cremator. You guys dropped it off. He died. End of story.
No, this cat was famous, actually. We found out. It's like, it was apparently a famous YouTube cat.
Because of the way it meows.
Yeah, and when I found this out, I'm like, oh, wow. So I went. I found out because I went to the vet to ask the shelter to ask. Hey, just out of curiosity, what happened to that cat? It talked like this. Like, oh, that cat. Yeah, we didn't forget about that cat. Oh, its owner picked it up. Apparently, it's like a celebrity cat. It's like a YouTube million+ subscriber cat that we were in possession of. And for all I know, I could have held it for ransom.
Yeah.
I would have got a pretty penny.
You could have had the original Grumpy Cat.
Yeah, there's like
right there.
Yeah, I filmed a video of it like holding a sign with like dollar signs on it, and
So, out of our hashtag Call Me Tex, if you want to hear more personal stories, hashtag Call Me Tex. And
Yeah.
if you want to know the Call Me Tex story, just refer back to the Thrashing episode where Chris was almost raped by a man in a van.
Yep.
No denying it. He just said yep. So Amy leaves. Felice is still cleaning the dad's wounds, and Amy's like, I gotta go. And she leaves, and then Felice like comforts the dad, and then they start to kiss a little bit.
oh boy.
Forget that dead woman.
So take this broken wings. Pretty much just the scene that takes on after this
Pretty
part.
fucked up. Like your wife's, whatever. She's 6 feet under the ground, I guess. What are you gonna do?
I think he went around and like started turning over the picture frames with her in it, like face down.
He's just like, well, his sister's here, and I mean, it's close enough, right? They never really got along. She doesn't really know her. I don't even really know if it's her sister. It was just some drifter at the cemetery. But
As long as
fuck it.
As long as I'm keeping it in the family.
I didn't think anything was weird about that demon cat showing up, or might as well just have sex with this woman.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, freebie.
All right, and by the way, this scene that's going to happen is one of the most fucked up scenes I've ever seen in any movie.
Yeah.
Which is about to happen. And I got some questions for you, because I'm wondering what exactly transpires in the next few minutes. So we go to school, and Amy's there. And by the way, her friend Heather, we'll never see her again. That was a wrap on Heather after the Escalator. But two of these kids at her school look at her and they go, hey, Amy, we hear you've seen Heather. She look all fucked up. And she's like...
Typical school. Come on.
You guys are fucking sick.
No, actually, I think that was the most accurate depiction of a classmate.
So we go to we're in this science class, right? Mm-hmm. And we just hear this lecture, and like Amy starts to kind of go crazy, and she's having some sort of like ET scenario.
Yeah.
Where she's like feeling what I guess her aunt's feeling.
Oh God, I hope
which
not.
Is well, later in the movie, that's what happens, Chris.
Yeah.
So apparently, Amy's sitting in this class, and she's like getting all sweaty, and she's like kind of like getting a little hot and heavy in the old crotch region. Mm-hmm. And she keeps looking at this dummy in the class, this like medical dummy, and it's like heart's beating, and she's like getting all super sweaty, and she's like, and we intercut this with scenes of the dad and Felice having sex, and then Amy just like can't take it anymore and like runs out of the class, and there's like blood left in her seat.
Yeah.
And at this point, I just wrote, I'm sorry. Did she just get de-virginized by her own father through some sort of ET like experience?
Oh,
what the fuck just happened?
I think that's what happened. I didn't want to believe it, but I think that's what happened. I'm like, either she's on the rag,
This
as they
is just
say.
like the scene when Elliot's in school,
Yeah.
and E.T. drinks all those beers in that movie. This is just imagine the same scene, but instead of E.T. drinking beers, he's fucking Elliot's mom. That's what happens. That's what happens.
Oh, please let that be the extended cut.
This is so messed up.
Yeah, baby.
She's just laying in bed and she's just like having a dream or something, and E.T.'s like, ring, that's not the only thing that glows. E.T. comes in all drunk and rapes Elliot's mom.
Oh, no. Turn over, bitch.
A real Black Devil doll type scenario. So yeah, I do think what happened is that Amy was de-virginized by her own father through a telepathic ET type scenario. Real fucked up. Real fucked up.
Oh God.
So we go back to Felice and the dad, and he like notices that she's got some giant scar on her shoulder, and this thing is like a festering wound.
It's like a festering boil.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, what happened to your shoulder?" And she's like, "Oh no, it's just a birthmark." And I'm like, "No, it's not. No, it's not. It looked like somebody put like a curling iron on her back."
Yeah. It looks like domestic abuse is what it looks like.
Oh, she's into the kinky stuff, huh? You want me to burn you with a candle? I'll burn you with a candle.
Jackpot.
You're nothing like that dead woman that used to live here. I forgot her name. I turned over all the pictures and everything. She was never on the cover of Cosmo. So we go to the hospital, and Brenda. Oh God, because we've had a good 20 minutes without Brenda. Gotta get her back in this movie. She's just holding a baby and then gives it to some guy, which is crazy because there's actually a baby in this shot.
Yeah.
So either the production for this fucking useless scene, like rented a baby for the day, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy to think they would spend the money on that, or somebody in the crew had a baby and they're like, "Oh yeah, bring it in. You can have it in the movie."
Oh God.
Either way, there's a real baby in this. She gives it to the guy, and he's like, "Oh, my father." And then Amy's just standing at the doorway crying, and Brenda's like, "Oh, well, what happened?" Cut to, they're like standing in some back room, and Amy says something about how she had her period in 30 seconds or something, and she wasn't due for another 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, so I guess it was a period type scenario?
Yeah.
It didn't seem like it.
No, because that was a gushing.
And she was also like kind of like touching herself like in an orgasmic way.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't think that no period.
No. Get out the rape kit.
Brenda, do you have rape kits? Can you imagine when that comes back and it goes, "Oh, Amy, this is your father." You want to tell me something?
Cut to the dad in handcuffs. I wasn't even there.
So, okay, but I love this part is Brenda's like, "Well, what do you want me to do, Amy?" She's like, I don't know. She's like, "Change out of the skirt, give me the skirt, change out of it, put on these pants or something." And she's like, "Well, what do you think's wrong? I mean, this isn't, stuff like this shouldn't happen." And Amy's like, "It's her, it's Felice." And she's like, "What are you talking about? That's crazy." And she's like, I don't know. This is my favorite line of the movie, by the way. Favorite line of the whole movie is Amy says something about how it's because Felice makes her eat all this health food and crap, and then she says, and I quote, "I want some Fritos and I want a fucking Diet Coke." And then just runs off. And before she runs off, though, Brenda's like, "There's a Diet Coke machine down the hall. I'll buy you a Diet Coke. You like Diet Coke? You want a Diet Coke? Coke?" Like right to the camera. And you can just see the TV spots for this movie.
Oh God.
And I want a fucking Diet Coke. Enjoy Coca-Cola's The Kiss.
Oh, the marketing for that machine.
There's a Diet Coke machine right down the hall.
Amy, a lot of things can bring on early menstruation.
No, it was her. She's been feeding me all this health food crap. I want some Fritos. I want a fucking Diet Coke.
Look, there's a machine down the hall. I'll get you a Coke, but you've got to calm down.
So we go to the house. Dad's looking at a picture of Amy and that dead woman that used to live there. The one he hasn't turned over yet.
The one that's uncreative in the sack.
He just looks like he's contemplating, like, well, I mean, I could cut her out of this picture, and maybe I should just get rid of this one altogether, Should I? Is this one I donate to? Do you donate family photos to charity, Felice? Felice, should I put this in a box? Do I donate pictures of this broad?
Only if it comes with the frame.
Just throw it out? Okay. Yeah, fuck it.
Can I paste your face over hers?
Yeah, Felice, what do you think of me putting your face over hers with Amy here?
Amy, get the camera.
Too weird? Okay.
It's like it's a Pat situation.
I'll just take one from your magazine.
Oh, yeah, that's right, huh?
So He's looking at that dead woman and his daughter, thinking about life. And then all of a sudden, that scientist guy from that lab we went to that one time calls him up and he's like, "The fix is in. I want you to be an architect for me or something. And it involves you like getting on a red eye." Or some shit.
Yeah.
Like I need you to draw up plans tonight, in one night.
Yeah.
I need you to design a whole fucking lab for me.
Drop what you're doing, pull out, wipe it on the curtains, and get down here.
And he's like, "Oh, I don't know how architects work, but that sounds good to me, sure." And then we go to the mall, the only place where Amy feels safe, the only place where any teen in America feels safe except when you're on that escalator.
Yeah.
So Amy's just sitting at the mall, and it's like clearly closed. There's a man sweeping up, and all the chairs are on the tables.
Yeah.
And she's sitting there drinking her Diet Coke.
Goddamn. Enter Terry.
Yeah. So Terry like sneaks up behind her and scares the shit out of her.
He puts his hands behind her eyes, like, ah!
He's like, "Oh, the escalator." Was that in bad taste? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, I forgot about.
I didn't mean to stare you.
Yeah.
I mean scare you.
Oh shit. Come on, what are you so afraid of, baby? It's not like I'm a metal staircase that moves, right? Gonna get you. You're not wearing a necklace, so what's the matter?
They'll be wearing a pearl necklace, but that's later.
And he says like, "Hey, do you want to go? You want to go talk? I'm a sensitive guy." And she's like, "Yeah, you seem real nice, Terry."
A sensitive ponytail, yeah.
Cut to Amy and Terry sitting at a child's playground.
At night.
So like they're sitting on like she's like sitting on a slide, like dangling her legs, you know, and she basically tells us everything that's already happened in the movie in case you weren't paying attention. And then Terry says, "Oh, I love this fucking line. I love this." And Amy's just like, "Yeah, I got a lot of problems with my aunt. You know, she's a real bitch. I don't like her. She's really creepy." And Terry goes, "Look, it is tough guy act." He goes, "Look, I'll go over to her hotel room and straighten the bitch out. Straighten that bitch out." Some 14-year-old kid. "I'll go over to her hotel room and straighten the bitch out." And all right, what does that mean? I know. What does that mean? And Amy just says like, "No, Terry, please don't. Please do not do that. I'm a little worried on what that means."
Yeah, because who does Terry know? I feel like
I'll straighten that bitch out.
Terry has a backstory.
I got the fucking cake connections here, right? Yeah. You wouldn't even believe it, Amy. You saw what that fucking escalator did to your friend? Wait till you see what I do to your aunt. I'll straighten that bitch out.
Listen, I'll tell you what. I'll go over to your hotel room and I'll just straighten the bitch out.
No.
No, look.
No,
it wouldn't
really,
be any problem.
please. This is my problem, okay?
So we go to Amy's house and Terry drops her off. They have this tiny little kiss. And she says, "You're a nice guy, Terry, for an airhead." Which, yeah, he is.
Yep.
She goes inside and Terry thinks for a bit. And then he drives off and he says, "What are friends for?"
And he says it kind of like, "Oh, God, I didn't get a hand job."
He's like, "Fucking bitch. I'm like this. I fucking tried to save her friend, you know. The friend's out of the way. I thought I'd get my way in, you know."
It's past 10.
The only thing standing in between me and that girl is that bitch aunt of hers. Better go straighten her out. So Amy walks into the house and her dad's there and he's all mad. He's like, "Where the fuck were you? You know, the school called. They said you were sick. You ran out of the room. You bled all over a chair." "Amy, apparently you had an orgasm in your class and you bled everywhere. I'm your father. What aren't you telling me?" And basically she's like, "Oh, you know, something about blah, blah, blah. The aunt did all this stuff." And he's like, "You're crazy, Amy. Look, I got to go out of town. We'll talk about this when I get back." Cut to the hotel. Uh-oh. Terry is going to straighten this bitch out.
He's on the prowl.
So
I love that he gets... Okay, he's carrying a cake box.
Yeah, got to be undercover, right?
And then this old lady walks by him.
Late night cake delivery.
Yeah. This old lady who walks past him in the lobby. He's like, "Oh, fuck, my cover's blown."
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, shit." And he's like twirling around with this cake box like, oh, they're onto me.
He throws it in like a fern. Like a potted plant is now. Special delivery, potted plant. Here you go.
So Terry does the one thing he probably should not have done. I guess he's only like 14 or 15, so not many laws, I guess, are broken. No, but Terry puts this box down, and then he like basically takes a credit card and shims his way into this hotel room, and he like walks in a room and it's all dark, and he walks in and he sees Felice doing some sort of like African voodoo ritual thing in front of this statue, and she's got her body all painted like a leopard, and that demon cat's like sitting down on the lap, and it just looks at him and goes and he's like, oh fuck, and then she looks at him and he runs out. But what happened, Chris?
He kind of leaves something behind inadvertently. Again, a little plant and payoff from earlier. The stud has fallen out, and he only notices this because he goes to make a phone call in the phone booth down below. He's like, "Oh my god, you're right. I tried to straighten that bitch out." And in the middle,
Amy's like, "Oh, Terry, please no. Why did you do this?"
And in mid sentence, he's like, "Oh no, my stud." God, this
and we
fucking
cut
thing.
to, and I wrote, okay, hold up. This guy with this fucking stud, man. You ever heard of like actually securing it in your ear? I mean, I've never worn an earring in my life, but I know that there's two sides to them. One is that the part with the jewelry, and the other part is the part that stays securely in your ear.
Yeah.
Apparently, Terry just is like, I don't need those fancy clips, I don't need that fancy stopper. He's freewheeling, just lets that stud just sit in his ear, and it's falling out everywhere, leaving this trail of studs all around town. So then we go back. Okay, so we're at their house, right?
Yeah.
Well, they say something about how they're going to meet at this park again. Meet me at the park, and we'll discuss what to do about this bitch Anna of yours. And then the dad comes in the room to tell Amy he's sorry, and she's like, I just got off the phone with Terry. He tried to go straighten that bitch out, and blah blah blah. And he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like, there's nothing wrong with Felice and something. And he's like, she's just got some weird birthmark on her. And then Amy's like, you fucked her. And the dad
backhands her,
just fucking slaps his daughter in the face. And she's just like stunned. She's like, oh. And he's like, look, we'll talk when I get back, all right? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit you, but you're not going to screw this up for me, all right?
God knows I was probably screwing you earlier.
You know what, Amy? It's been 6 fucking months, all right?
You know what it's like having a pair of grapefruits between your balls?
Your mom never did it like that. Never did it like that.
That's true. It's like fucking a rock, Amy. Like fucking a rock.
You know what it's like to you know what? I had a fucking plug pulled at the hospital, Amy. You know what it's going to be like to fuck a woman with one leg? You know what it's like? You know what it's like? A fucking pirate for the rest of my life. They told me, Amy, if she woke up from that coma with the one leg, I was going to have to, she was going to have to get a prosthetic. You know how I am with prosthetics.
Yeah.
I can't fucking stand them. I pulled that fucking plug. I pulled it.
Do you want me to have that blue placket in the car?
It's been 6 months, Amy. What do you want from me, huh?
No one listens to this show anyways. What do we fucking care? All 1,200 of you.
What? It's a movie. It's not us. It's
I know.
All 12 of you. All right, so we go to the hotel, and Felice finds that stud. She drops it into this bowl, and then she does some ritual, and the demon cat like runs out and starts attacking Terry's like soft covered Jeep roof. Good. I bet he's regretting that purchase at this point.
Hardcover soft.
It's the late 80s. Rag tops real popular at this point.
I think he was like, oh god, I did not see that coming. I tore through.
But this part is great. The kills in this movie are amazing.
Yeah.
They're always like way different than you would expect to happen. Mm-hmm. So in this one, he's driving, and that like demon cat like rips through his rag top through a tunnel, and then gets in front of him on the steering wheel and starts like clawing him while he's trying to drive, and it's like. I love how it appears though, because he's just driving, and then like from under his seat, like where his crotch is, the demon cat just goes, hey, like right in his face.
Because the rest of the kills, it's a series of like Rube Goldberg machine style kills.
So what happens when that cat attacks him? So he's driving and he swerves off.
It's pretty much similar to the beginning of the movie, that car accident, but just he fucking eats it.
Yeah, so he gets out. Well, he gets out of the Jeep, and then this semi truck goes, and then just runs him over. It's a great kill.
Yeah.
So we go to Brenda's house.
Oh God.
Gotta get her in. 5 minutes without Brenda. Get her back in here. The dad comes over to talk to her, and he's like, oh, there's all these problems with Amy. I heard about this quick period issue. Sounds a little odd.
Yeah, we call it a flash flood.
And then he also brings up the weird mark on Felice's back. He's like, she's got a birthmark, Brenda. You're a nurse, right? This thing ain't looked like no birthmark to me. I mean, looks a little fucked up. And Brenda's just like, I think you're all crazy. I kind of regret hanging out with your family now. Look, I know I wasn't wanted, but now none of you are wanted. Please leave me alone. I've decided I don't want to be your family friend or slave anymore. Please leave my house.
Yeah.
But Brenda's like, oh, okay, I'll look after Amy while you're gone. Go to this hotel. Felice's back is getting all super gross. Go back to the house. The dad leaves. Amy is alone. She sneaks out of the house to meet Terry at that park. And then Brenda, we go to her house, and she's like on the phone with somebody holding some article of clothing.
Yeah.
Which I thought was Amy's period skirt. I thought it was her period skirt.
I recognized it. It was a sweater from the beginning.
It's a sweater from the beginning. Because I kept writing in the next few scenes about the period skirt. So, but yeah, it's that shirt that Felice got blood on in the beginning, and she calls somebody up from the hospital, and she's like, "Oh, can I come in and run some tests on this thing?" Okay. So they go to this. Okay, we go to the park, and Amy's like looking for Terry. He's not there. Felice like drives up and sees her. She runs off, and Felice follows her, and Amy runs into a church. Then we go in this church, and like Amy's like running up to the priest from the beginning of the movie, and she's like, "Oh, my aunt's fucking crazy," blah 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 blah. And then Felice like comes into the church, and she's like, "I'm gonna bring Amy home." And the police is like, no. Priest is like, whoa, 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 whoa. He's like, if anybody's touching a kid in here, it's gonna be me.
Zing, zing, zing.
Get your hand off her. And then there's that great part though where Felice like takes the Bible from him and then burns him with it. You remember that?
Yeah.
So she's like, get the fuck out of my way, and then like burns him with his own Bible, and he's like, oh fuck. And then Amy and Felice get in some chase around the church, and the priest like picks up the phone to, I assume, call the police, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a crazy woman that just burned me with my own Bible. Can you please come down here? No, he like calls her dad's office, and he's like, oh, can you connect me to Amy's dad's office?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he's here, but he's not answering his phone. And he's like, oh, well, I better drive over there. What? While Amy and the lady are still in the church.
Yeah, don't call the police. This is another Chessie Anderson moment.
So this part's really fucked up. Is like Amy's hiding in a room, and then Felice walks in. And at this point, Felice has done nothing to Amy, right?
Right.
But she walks in this room, and Amy stabs her through the neck with a pair of scissors. Mm-hmm. Like right through the trachea. Just like fucking blade first right through this thing sideways. And we see this great shot of Felice having scissors like stuck through her neck.
Like when they show these hero shots, they are hero shots of these gore effects. It's great.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you actually see the scissors go through the neck, and then Felice pulls them out, and Amy like faints on the ground. Then we cut to the hospital, and Brenda's running some tests with some doctor on that blood. Yeah. Then we go to the priest, and now he's driving in a car. And then Felice is like praying to her statue again. And basically like the thing is like she'll like take blood from herself and run it through this statue. And if it falls onto an item that somebody left behind, they'll die. And the priest left his Bible. So she like rips a page out of the Bible and like makes a little like stick figure. Doll. Voodoo doll out of him. And so the priest gets to the dad's work, and he's like going up there, and then the dad like walks out of his office, and there's this awesome scene where the priest gets in the elevator, and then his hand like spontaneously catches on fire, and then like he just catches on fire completely.
Yeah.
and the dad like gets in the elevator, and you think he's gonna see the priest fall out dead.
Nope.
But he gets in the other elevator. But here's the thing: is like as soon as the dad walks into the elevator, this like crispy fried priest falls out, and I'm like, well, I guess the smell of like burning human flesh isn't that pungent because it's not literally right next to this man. Somebody cooking burgers or something?
Burning the midnight oil, I see.
This guy's like fucking Kentucky Fried Priest, dude.
Yeah.
He was just like burnt up to a crisp, this dude.
Kentucky Fried Father.
Kentucky Fried Father. So we go outside, and the dad like gets in some limo with this weird scientist. Who knows what the fuck's going on? We don't. We go to the hospital, and Brenda and that doctor are running tests. And then another doctor comes in, and he's like, hey, anybody want to take care of this fucking idiot drunk guy? And Brenda's like, oh, I guess I will. And then she looks at the chart and realizes that it's Amy's friend Terry.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, fuck, I know this guy. And he's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have made that joke about him.
Whoopsie doodle.
Because she's like, what happened? He's like, just some fucking drunk walked in front of a truck, fucking idiot. Kids these days.
Spinning around in circles, running in the streets.
So Amy, for some reason, Brenda like gets on the phone. I guess she's gonna call Amy, but then the doctor runs in that was doing the test, and he's like, "Is this some sort of sick gag?" And she's like, "What?" And then she gets on the phone, and we go to the airport, and we see the dad getting on a plane, and we think the international sign of something's gonna happen is gonna happen, but instead somehow they've stopped a plane so this guy could get a phone call. Because Brenda calls up and she's talking to the desk lady apparently, and they're like, no, he's on a flight, ma'am. And she's like, I don't care if he's on a fucking flight. Get him on a fucking flight. And they apparently do?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everybody who paid for their ticket on this plane, we gotta wait. Somebody's got a phone call. Is he a doctor or something? No, he's just an architect, but there's some sort of demon situation at home. It's a long story. So the dad gets out, and then Brenda tells him what's happened over the phone, and now I guess he believes everything that happened, and now he's like, oh, I guess Felice really is some sort of demon. Because Brenda's like, that blood on my shirt, it's from a dead woman or something. Doesn't really explain much of anything.
No.
Go to the house, and so dad and, So the dad calls the house, and Felice answers, and he knows something's up. So then he leaves the airport, and then we just see that Felice has like Amy in some bed and some like ritual she's preparing or something. Brenda picks up the dad from the airport. Okay, so they go home. We're now in the last scene of this movie, which is fucking amazing.
This is like, it's so worth any and all buildup that you like was kind of flat. This is like,
the last 10 minutes of this movie are insane.
I love it. It's so good.
So Felice is like preparing Amy for her like voodoo ritual. It's very like Child's Play, how he's always like trying to possess the kid, you know? And so the dad and Brenda pull up, and he's going to go into the house by himself, and he tells Brenda, like, go wait at your house. I'll call you if I need you. So the dad walks in, and he stops Felice from doing this ritual. And then she says something about how Amy's her bloodline, and she owes her and all this stuff. And then I guess she, like, somehow controls the dad's mind. Yeah. Because all of a sudden the phone rings, and she's like, go answer the phone. And he's like, I'll answer the phone.
Yeah.
And she does like some sort of Jedi mind trick on him, like she's fucking Darth Vader or something.
And he's pretty much just tells Brenda everything is fine. She's in bed.
Yeah. Brenda calls up and she's like, "Oh my God, Jack, what the fuck's happening? Everything is fine, Brenda. Felice is here. So is Amy." And she's like, "Oh, are you sure, Jack? You don't sound like you. Everything's fine. Just wait at home." "Oh, okay." And then she hangs up. And I wrote, okay, Brenda, please call the police at this point. Please, just call the police. And in the ride over, she says, like, maybe we should call the police. And the dad's like, what am I going to say? My daughter's aunt's trying to possess her? It's like, no, just say there's a crazy woman in your house. Yeah. And maybe they'll go over there and just arrest her or something, you know? Or just at least stop what's going on. Mm-hmm. You know, you're buy yourself some fucking time, buddy. But instead, the dad and Felice just have sex again.
Yep. Yep. You think it was in his contract? I got a bone twice, or I'm not doing it.
And the most oddly timed sex scene. Yeah. For some reason, Felice takes the dad into the other room and starts riding on top of him. And then Amy starts feeling it again.
Yeah.
So like I said before, she definitely feels this stuff because she's like laying in the bed. She's like, like she's feeling what's going on. And the dad's like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I kind of do. Because she's like, Felice is all like going wild on top of him. And he's like, I'm not enjoying this. Maybe. Maybe a little bit. Right over there. That's good.
Just a touch more.
Slow down.
Here come the boys.
So then Brenda comes into the house. And, okay, I like this part. So Brenda's like, all right, well, I'm going to the house. And she just walks in. She walks into the house, like right in the front door. And then the demon cat just looks at her and goes... And Brenda runs out the front door and goes, well, fuck this.
She's like, holy shit.
I was like, yeah, I would have done the same thing. I'd be like, fuck this family. I have no connection to them. I'm telling you, officer, I barely knew him.
I was trying to be a nice person. I went in there. There's a fucking demon cat.
So Amy wakes up and she's like taking these bone things off her that Felice put on her. And then she's like hearing her dad and Felice have sex in the other room. And she's just like covering her ears like, why are they doing this now? And then Brenda goes to her house and finds a gun behind all these cleaning products.
Yeah.
So she like takes out the Ajax, the fucking
Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean. And for some reason there's like an old revolver back there.
Yeah.
And then we go back to Amy. She's trying not to hear her father orgasm as he's getting close to climax at this point. He's like,
6 months! 6 months!
And Amy's like, no! But then she like backs up to the window, and then all of a sudden the window flies open and Brenda's there, and she's like, I gotcha. I'm like, are they on the first floor or something?
Yeah.
Like, wait, is Brenda like some floating vampire now? What the fuck?
She's like on a very well placed trellis or something.
So basically, Felice hears something and tries to leave, and the dad's like, oh, I'm not done yet, and tries to pull her back. And then she like breaks his hand, which is awesome.
Yeah.
She like twists his hand up and everything, and he's like, ah! And
I need that hand later.
You see his hand bend the other way and stay that way.
Yeah.
Like you said, the gore effects in this movie are pretty awesome. So then Felice walks into the room and she sees Amy's gone, and then she looks out the window, but apparently she doesn't know where they went, even though there's a fucking ladder that it's like, so there's this ladder not like 5 feet from her, but she apparently can't see it.
Yeah.
That they use to climb down the roof.
Yeah.
And then Felice, like, so she like grabs that statue, and Brenda and Amy are trying to leave the backyard. Brenda's like, we gotta go, Amy. And then Amy's like, okay. And then they start running away, but for some reason Amy just starts vomiting everywhere. And Brenda's like, it's not a good time. Let's go. But then the dad comes into that room and he sees Felice with that statue, and he grabs it and he just breaks it against the wall, and all this blood flies everywhere. And he yells at her, he goes, go to hell. She says, not yet. And then she smashes him against the wall. And then, okay, great part. The demon cat just appears in the backyard and just jumps for Brenda's neck.
Yeah.
And just starts biting her, and she's like, oh, fuck. And we see a fight scene between Brenda and this demon cat. And then she falls over a planter, and the cat like flies off her. And she grabs that rake and just shoves it into the side of this cat.
Oh, God, so good.
And then shoves the demon cat into like a bug zapper.
Yeah.
And then yells, fuck you, Felix.
Yeah. Because this bug zapper had an early plant and pay earlier when the priest was like, oh, jumping like flies. At the beginning of the film, the priest is watching.
I didn't even notice this.
And he goes, oh, that's one way to go to heaven. After the bug gets zapped by.
Felice should have made her appearance then and goes, oh, hell.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Keep an eye on that one.
Why did she yell, fuck you, Felix? Like it's Felix the cat or something?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Fuck you, Felix!
And There's a great part though. So you see that cat get electrocuted to death, and then she drops it on the ground and it just catches on fire. And there's like barbecue cat in the backyard,
Sweet and sour cat, kung pao cat. It's whatever you want it to be at this point.
So then, all right, great part is so Felice comes after them and she like jumps onto the roof on all fours and then jumps through this skylight, like jumps through this like greenhouse room and then punches her way through a window and like leaps out, and Brenda points the gun at her and pulls the trigger and nothing happens, and Felice says, "You can't kill someone who's already dead," and Brenda goes, "You want a fucking bet?"
Yeah.
And then pulls the trigger again and it shoots her right in the face.
Yeah.
And her like Felice's neck snaps back, and then she like pulls her neck back up.
Such a good scene.
And she's got like a bullet hole through her head. And then she starts she throws Brenda into this grill, and then for some reason this propane tank falls over and it just starts shooting fire out of it. Like it would never happen.
No.
So
it would either explode or just stop.
So this propane tank is gonna shoot flames and not like a constant flame, mind you.
Yeah.
Like it just goes like every 2 seconds it'll start shooting out like a flame. And so basically she beats up Brenda, and then Felice goes around, she finds Amy and tries to give her this kiss, like at the beginning of the movie. Guess why the movie's called The Kiss.
Yes, indeed. It's a good part.
Amy gets away, and the propane tank is still spitting flames everywhere. Felice tackles her. She's trying to do some crazy ritual and give her a French kiss with this demon tongue that starts coming out of her mouth. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, it's great.
It reminds me of like the scene in Alien when the alien will have that second little tongue with the teeth on it come out.
Yeah.
And she's getting this like weird demon thing coming out of her mouth and like trying to force it into Amy's mouth. And then the dad comes out and he grabs Felice and throws her into the pool. And then Amy, so like basically they have this big fight in the pool. Hedgestrummer comes back.
Thank God. Amy goes to town with a vengeance with this thing. Straight through Felice in the chest. I was mad because it didn't turn on. Like, because we're in the pool, obviously.
Oh, God, I so was hoping that it would go.
Yeah. Oh, God, it's such a missed opportunity. Like, they could have saved that before they went in the pool. So, like, this thing still work, and that's, like, the big gag is, like, and it finally works for Felice.
Yeah.
Turns it on, blood everywhere, then she falls in the pool with it, then it gets shut off.
But instead, she shoves this thing through Felice's chest cavity, you know, just right through it. Mm-hmm. And then they still get in some fight, and then the demon tongue makes another appearance.
Yeah.
And then somehow it's like the dad or somebody like grabs it out of her mouth.
Yeah.
And then the demon tongue becomes its own like creature and starts like swimming around the pool.
I love that. It's like a little, like an alien salamander is like,
and Felice is like dead now because the demon tongue came out of her.
Yeah, and it's a really cool makeup job they did on her because she looks like a corpse at this, like an actual living
and she
corpse.
becomes a corpse under the water. It's a cool little transition thing that happens.
Yeah.
And she like floats down to the bottom of the pool, and then the demon tongue's like going after Amy, and the dad's like, Amy! And then for some reason, the dad throws the propane tank in the pool.
Yeah.
Like it's going to do anything. And then for no reason at all, the propane tank explodes.
Yeah.
And like, oh, we forgot. Okay, there's that part though where the dad, he takes the demon tongue and he like holds it in front of the propane
flame.
tank.
Yeah.
And it's like trying to burn it.
Yeah.
And then it goes after Amy. Then he gets out of the pool and throws the tank in the pool.
Yeah.
It explodes. Everybody's alive. The demon tongue's dead. And we just see like some weird cement thing of like Amy's hands.
Yeah, it's like everyone, the family hands.
Yeah.
The family's hands are in the ground, are at the corner of the pool, like the mom's hands, the dad's hands. This is like the Holloman family. We pan in on that, pan in the water. The dad said it's over. Roll credits.
Yeah. Recommendation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great film.
I love this movie.
It's one of those. It's a hidden gem, a Grindbin gem.
I know. I watched this a couple months ago, and I immediately put it down as an episode to do.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to fit it in. And also, it doesn't really fit most of our movies that we cover on this podcast. But I thought, it's a fun little weird horror movie that not a lot of people have seen, and definitely deserves a little bigger audience.
It's definitely more original than the films of that time as well.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, there's great gore effects in it. It has really fucked up things, like possibly a dad de-virginizing his daughter through an ET telepathic experience.
Tickets on sale now.
A demon cat.
That was the best.
A girl almost being killed by an escalator. I mean, it's pretty awesome.
Pink blazer.
I mean, you're the big horror movie fan in this podcast.
Yeah.
So you would say,
oh yeah, I loved it.
Give it a go.
Oh yeah, I loved it. It's fun. It's a fun one.
You hear that sound, Chris?
Is that a garbage truck?
Oh no.
Oh god damn it.
If this is the first time you've ever listened to this podcast, you may not know this, but every episode we go back to the first episode of our podcast, 1977's The Van, starring Stuart Goetz and Danny DeVito, about a ginger boy who gets a big yellow van called the Straight Arrow and lures in women to rape them. We always wonder, how would Bobby and DeVito fit into the world of every movie we cover, and what shenanigans would they be up to this week, Chris?
Well, after the events of the pool happen, family leaves and you hear the Straight Arrow pull up. They both get with fishing nets and they start fishing out pieces of Felice. And they bring it all in the van, and they bring also the little salamander evil dragon worm thing. They go, Bobby, I've seen what this girl can do. She's got ways, Bobby. This tongue, you see that tongue? You can only imagine what she can do with it. Lollipops? No, Bobby. Think bigger, better, saltier, sweeter, sour. And then they decide in the van to stitch this woman back together with rudimentary sewing skills, but they do like a botched job. So like there's an arm coming out of her neck, and there's like the fish is now coming out of a nipple. And they got her back to life, and she's kind of back to herself. She's gone back from being a corpse to the actual version of herself, and she's like, all right, Bobby, you first. And he's like, I'm not sure about this, Bobby. You're the one who wants some more. And so Bobby goes down towards the nipple, and the fish goes in Bobby's mouth, the worm, and then he starts making out with Danny DeVito, and then the van starts swerving, they fly up a cliff, the van explodes.
The kiss, too.
Yeah.
French kiss.
Oh, I wish we'd take... Oh, that's a sequel.
I think, like, there's that whole period of lost time. Yeah. You know, like, we see Felice over at that grave.
Yeah.
So she's at the funeral, and then it goes 5 months later.
Yeah.
Which you didn't see. Is one of Bobby and DeVito's favorite places to troll for women is the local graveyard. Because DeVito always says, he's like, Bobby, there's never a hornier woman or a more vulnerable woman than a woman in mourning. Oh, we got...
They're just running train over like a mausoleum.
Bobby, trust me. I've been to so many funerals in my life, Bobby, and I've scored at every one. You go up to these broads, Bobby. They're grieving, but they're ready. They're ready. So they've been trolling this cemetery for a couple weeks, and they haven't found any pristine women to call into that old Straight Arrow with the lure of toast and satellite TV.
Yeah, they got that cheap mascara running, Bobby. It's not a good catch.
And then all of a sudden they see Felice. Just sitting by that grave waiting for a family to show up. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden the Straight Arrow rolls up and you hear and Bobby just walks up and he's like, hey, you like vans? And she just goes, no. And then all of a sudden DeVito runs up with a chloroform. But the demon tongue gets him and he's like, ah.
Is it like stuck on his finger? Yeah. Like a Chinese finger trap? It's just...
Yeah, it gets stuck on his finger.
Yeah. So he's on his back, and now there's this like fish demon on his penis, and it's like flopping out. It's like, Bobby, get it off! And Bobby's got a net. He's like trying to catch it with the net, like slamming DeVito's crotch with this net. But
and then they somehow get it all off, and they run back into that van, and they pull off, and they maybe knock a few headstones over on the way out, drive over some fresh graves.
Yeah. No, they take over like an open casket about to be laid into the ground. Oh yeah,
Bobby, I said women in mourning, not women in caskets. Maybe like for a side business, they've now become a hearse, you know, with a Straight Arrow.
Oh god.
And that's when they fish Felice out of that pool.
Straight
They're
Arrow.
the coroner. Bobby's now the local coroner,
Yeah.
and he uses his van as a coroning business.
Oh god. Straight Arrow to heaven. The Kiss 2.
Oh. Well, thanks again for joining us.
Not so fast.
Oh, here we go.
WWBD.
Uh-oh, Chris is
No,
calling another
I don't
feature.
have one. This is yours. This is your feature, I thought.
Okay, so now we would say, what would Bronson do? WWBD.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we wonder, how would Charles Bronson fit into the movies we watch? Well, what do you think for The Kiss, Chris?
Okay. They call the cops. Bronson answers. And he goes, she's on the, Lisa's on the phone. He goes, yeah, there's my crazy aunt, and she's been to Africa. And he goes, Africa, and just hangs up.
I could see the dad and Brenda going to the cops, and he says something about oh, my daughter, and he's like, Dada. I got a dada.
How young?
What's your relationship like with her?
Does she like to go on buses?
Has she been raped?
God damn it.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I only deal with rapes. When you get a rape situation, come back. I can help you. I'm your man.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't really seem to have a purpose in life. Thanks again for joining us. Another episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
I'm Chris Mann.
If you want to get in touch with us, grindbin@gmail.com. Our website is grindhousefilm.com. You can find us on Twitter @grindpod. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and everywhere else on social media. And if you like this show, please rate and review us on iTunes.
And also on iTunes, if you hit that purple rectangular button, hit subscribe. That would be fantastic. Bobby, drain the pool.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I made the team. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
Spooky ain't got no real coach.
Hello, pizza man.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love fun and games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
This is Los Angeles. You could have